We're going to start with trim removal, and we're going to talk about what tools we use so that we remove it correctly and we do very little damage to it. That is a problem that people have when they get too anxious to take it off really fast. They bend it, they just use a screwdriver, they get bend marks from the back, stuff like that. Okay, so after we got the trim removed, we're going to do some cleaning of the product, because when it comes off, it's really corroded and dirty, and so we want to clean it up so that we can see the dents in it, because we have to remove the dents as well. So we clean the whole thing, front and back, and we'll talk about what chemicals we use to remove the dirt, the rust, the paint, etc. So now that we've got it clean, we're going to mark the dents. We want to be able to see it in optimal conditions, like the lighting. A certain type of lighting is better to see the product than others. And then how to mark the dents. We actually mark the front and the back, so that we can find them easily when we're removing them. So to the next step, dent removal, we go over the tools that we use, the different techniques for different kinds of dents, and how to remove the dents from very difficult pieces. The types of tools that we use, you may have to make a lot of your own tools, because to fit into the parts of the stainless and stuff like that. We'll go over all that in the course. So the next step is, before we get to the polishing and buffing wheels, we want to do some sanding, because that will make a better finished product. So we'll go over what grits that we use and which order the grit should be used. How fine do you go? How much do you have to sand? When we're removing the dents, there's some filing involved, so we'll go over what you do for filing, and as well as some power sanding. Now when we get to the buffing part of it, we're going to go over the types of wheels, which wheels you need, the quality of the wheels, how to store the wheels, and when to use the different types of wheels. And then on to the compounds that we use with these wheels. There's several different kinds of compounds, and you use them in a certain order, and you can also use them on different wheels to produce different stages. So we'll go over all the types and their uses, and how to identify the different types of wheels. The equipment, the types of buffers we use, from a simple buffing wheel on a drill to right up to commercial buffing machines. And what to look for when you're buying it. There's different speeds of buffers and stuff like that. We want a certain speed and for stainless. And we also want to know how to size the wheel to the motor speed, and because that controls the amount of polishing we have to do and stuff like that. So the wheel size to the motor speed is very important. We can show you how to calculate all that. Now the buffing process, we'll show when to apply the compound, how much to apply, how to hold the trim when buffing, and practical application of wheels and compounds and when to use them, because you'll get a different effect with a different compound on different wheels. Okay, so when you start polishing, so you don't go into it with too much money, start with your equipment. A fairly reasonable priced equipment is good. The wheels will be smaller, so they'll cost less. You don't have to go into too much compound at first. That'll keep the price down for you. Also, when you start, don't start with the best piece of stainless on your car. Go to the scrapyard, get some scrap stainless and practice a little bit.